first session is introduction to archival world. So see, we are in archival world. So our colleague in this blog from Archives Portal Europe Foundation, from EGSAH, from Spain Archives, from Time Icarus will present what is going on. And our next speakers are our guests from ICA. We are trying in these Icarus meetings every year to have colleagues from ICA. We host already Urbica and section of literary archives and various other sections. And this year I'm very grateful for Njordur and Mandy that they prepare for the conference to present expert group on shared archival heritage, which is very important and need to be networked with all the archives. So I will give floor to Njordur and Mandy to present the work.
Thank you. Hello from Iceland. It's great to be with you here today. And I wanted to say that we are very grateful for the opportunity to introduce expert group on shared archival heritage. As you mentioned, it's a very important topic. Me and Mandy Banton will have a joint presentation here. I will start and introduce the expert group, and then Mandy will introduce bibliography on disputed archival claims that the expert group published a few months ago. So I'm gonna put up my PowerPoints here. Hopefully I can do that. Let's see. Can you see it?
Yes, it's okay.
Is it okay?
It's okay.
Okay. In 2016, International Council on Archives, or ICA, decided to establish a new expert group to provide a forum for discussion and ultimately the resolution of issues related to archives pertaining to the history and cultural heritage of more than one community, country, or region where the custody, ownership, and access is unclear or in dispute, as it is termed in the terms of reference for the group. These situations may arise from war, military occupation, the succession of states, or other adverse events. ICA decided to call this group Expert Group on Shared Archival Heritage, or in short, EGSAH. Over the years, other terms have been used to describe same or similar issues. For example, displaced archives, migrated archives, disputed archival claims, repatriation of archives, and seized archives. Those terms often describe different cases of archival claims. Some cases of shared archival heritage have been settled, but many remain unsettled and are even in dispute. The group tasks include the creation of tools and resources to assist ICA members in identifying and analyzing records of shared archival heritage, the provision of guidance on developing and models of agreements and systems to allow access by all stakeholders in such archives, and the establishment of codes and standards of professional conduct to protect themselves and ensure that the archives are appropriately managed. And the high-level goals of EGSAH are very ambitious, as you can see. Those are to represent all sides of the discussion and understand the legal obligations surrounding the custody of access to archives, along with the moral, ethical, and professional responsibilities of archivists and their managers and political superiors, to foster an environment which recognizes that these are delicate matters and encourages respectful and thorough dialogue, giving each party the opportunity to state its position and to be heard. To provide a balanced and professional analysis of all options for settlement, to find a settlement that preserves these most valuable records and makes them accessible in a way that allows all people to connect with their archival heritage in a culturally appropriate way, freely and without impediment. Members of EGSAH are archival professionals from all over the world. People with experience from archival institutions and universities. Members come from Kenya, Croatia, UK, the Netherlands, Portugal, Mexico, Trinidad and Tobago, and Iceland. Since its establishment in 2016, EGSAH has been working on several projects to meet its goals, and here are some of those projects. First, a survey on displaced archives that was conducted by James Lowry and Liverpool University Centre for Archival Studies on behalf of EGSAH in 2018 and 2019. And the report was published in 2020. The survey results will help EGSAH to see how the landscape of the shared archival heritage is and what action points to take to be able to publish guidelines, models of agreements, and help members of ICA to deal with issues related to shared archival heritage. Second, EGSAH published a bibliography on shared archival heritage in 2020, and Mandy Banton will tell us more about that in a few minutes. Third, EGSAH has participated in conferences and seminars on shared archival heritage, like this one here today. It is important in our way to meet the goals of the expert group to introduce the works of the group and start a dialogue about those matters of shared archival heritage. As you might imagine, the tasks of EGSAH are not simple issues, and I would say they are cultural issues, archival issues, political issues, and also legal issues. That is why we need a thorough dialogue about shared archival heritage. And for example, EGSAH did organize a roundtable on shared archival heritage at the ICA annual conference in 2018, and you can see on the slides a photo from that roundtable. Members of EGSAH have participated in the General Assembly in Suriname in 2018, and part of that was about shared archival heritage. And members of EGSAH have also participated in a conference that was in 2019 in France that was about displaced archives and shared archival heritage. And here we are now, today, in 2021, introducing EGSAH at the 6th ICARUS days. Our fourth project that I would like to mention is a cooperation with European regional branch, Eurpica, on a special issue of COMMA on shared archival heritage, hopefully to be published in 2023. The issue will contain 10 to 12 essays on shared archival heritage in broad approach. We are now in the process of identifying authors. So if you are interested, any of you, to write an article about shared archival heritage, then please contact me, send me an email. As you can see, EGSAH is in the process of gathering information, encouraging and participating in research on shared archival heritage, and also encouraging and taking part in a thorough dialogue on the issue. For further information, you can look up our website on the main ICA website, or simply send me an email. So, having said that, I would want to give Mandy Banton the word, and she will tell us more about the EGSAH bibliography. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, and good morning, everyone. Can you see my screen?
Not now.
Oh dear.
You should be able to share the screen as other colleagues. I think there shouldn't be any technical problems, but we can wait a little bit. You just have to pick this green button, share screen in the.
Yes, I've done that, but I'm just getting another screen that's asking me to select a window, and my presentation doesn't seem to be there.
You have to open your presentation first before before clicking share the screen. You have to open it. I presume you open it.
Yes, well, it's open on. Sorry about this. Can you see it now?
No, unfortunately, no.
Mandy, I have your PowerPoint presentation. Maybe I can share the screen and you can tell me when to put on the next
Yes,
slide.
that would be great. That would be great if you can do that.
Super, great. Thank you, Njordur. Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Great, so you can start. I think that you also see it now, Mandy.
Yes, I can, thank you. Well, sorry about that. But anyhow, good morning, everyone. Good morning from London. The bibliography, which, as we've heard, is already published on the website of the International Council on Archives, is open to all, not only to ICA members, and we were particularly pleased about that. It's intended as an aid to anyone concerned with displaced archives or disputed archival claims. It currently consists of about 220 items, mainly articles, books, and some official publications. There are a handful of news items and 2 documentary films. It includes, of course, the new survey of disputed archival claims. It's very new and we have some problems to resolve. It's also very much a work in progress and we need help with adding to it and keeping it up to date. This is the entry that we have for James Lowry's new survey on disputed archival claims. And please don't try to read all this, it's just there as an example of the way in which we have added abstracts when they are available. Unfortunately, they're not all available, even for journal articles, and rarely for books. In the case of this entry, I realized only last week that following the link to the survey from the bibliography, one is taken only to the English language version. The introduction states that it's available in both English and French, but I couldn't see how to get to the French version. I raised this issue with the ICA and it was quite quickly sorted out. Some other ICA documents are listed. In the case of these 2, the links are also to the English version, but hopefully that can be sorted out again. There is no indication in the English versions that they are available in other languages, and I was unable to find either through a search of the ICA website. The first is only 2 pages long, and of course it's very easy now to translate documents using the online tools, but the second is over 250 pages. To what extent items noted in the bibliography readily available. The situation varies. Here, the link takes you to a free downloadable PDF. You will see here that a note at the end gives the places involved, the causes of the displacement of archives, and whether or not a disputed claim has been resolved. We'd hoped to include this information in far more entries than has proved possible. But in many cases, the information is not readily available, or the item is of a general rather than specific nature. Another problem is that a claim for the return or sharing of documentation may not have been resolved when an article was written, but perhaps has been resolved since. In the case of this article in the journal Archival Science, the URL listed also takes you to the full text of the article. However, the link to this article in the History Workshop journal takes one only to the abstract, although History Workshop does publish some of its articles online. I thought this article was also not available online, and we included only the abstract, which, as you see, is available in both English and French. It's published in Archivaria, the journal of the Association of Canadian Archivists. The journal's website suggests that it's available only to members and subscribers, but searching just last week on back issues, I found that this article is in fact available online, so we need to add the URL. I said that I would come back to the question of language, which Kirsten has already discussed in her presentation. Most of the work on the bibliography was done by 3 English speakers, me, and 2 MA students at the University of Liverpool. Our friends and contacts were able to provide references in other languages. There are quite a lot in French and a sprinkling in other languages. In the case of this article, in Portuguese, the contributor, who is a member of the expert group, added a brief summary in English, which is helpful. We did discuss with the ICA the possibility of translating abstracts into other languages, but it was felt that people would ignore items in languages they are not familiar with. I'm not sure that is true. In my own case, I like to think that if I knew from an abstract or brief summary that an item was potentially important for my own research, I would make the effort to have it translated. Overall, as I've said, we need to think more about the question of language. Finally, I would urge you to suggest additions to the bibliography. It is very much a work in progress, and we hope that it can be expanded and, most importantly, kept up to date. Information can be sent to the ICA through the email address given here, program@ica.org, which is also given in the introduction to the bibliography. I will leave it there. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mandy, and thank you, Njordur. Also, I think that now that all attendees or participants see why this EGSAH work is important, we also promote this bibliography in Icarus Croatia activities and in Icarus, and I also send many requires to colleagues to update it and to join. So I hope that this will also help and that you will get more feedback and this, I think, really valuable work that this group is done. I think it's really important.